In a modest English village, where narrow lanes curved gently between hedgerows and time seemed to move at a more thoughtful pace, there lived an elderly woman named Margaret Whitmore. Margaret was, by all appearances, quite ordinary. Her silver hair was always neatly tied, her posture slightly bent with age, and her hands bore the delicate tremor of passing years. Yet, there was something quietly remarkable about her, something not easily defined. It was in her eyes. They held a steady light, not the brightness of youth, but the calm, knowing glow of someone who had long ago made peace with life in all its unpredictability. Despite living alone in a small ivy-covered cottage at the end of Willow Lane, Margaret was never truly lonely. Villagers often found their way to her, drawn not by necessity, but by something far more subtle, the comfort of her presence. Life in the village was, as it often is, a careful balance between resilience and uncertainty. Farmers watched the skies with quiet anxiety. Shopkeepers counted each coin with measured hope. Some days brought gentle success, others silent struggle. And though no one spoke of it too loudly, worry lingered in many hearts. One gray afternoon, as a thin drizzle softened the edges of the world, a young woman named Emily Carter arrived at Margaret's door. She hesitated before knocking, as though unsure whether her troubles were worthy of being spoken aloud. When the door opened, her composure faltered. "I'm terribly sorry to disturb you," Emily began, her voice unsteady, "but I don't quite know where else to go." Margaret regarded her with quiet understanding and stepped aside. "Come in, my dear. You needn't apologize for carrying a heavy heart." They sat by the window, where the rain traced gentle patterns against the glass. "My husband left for London," Emily said, clasping her hands tightly. "He's been searching for work, but there's been no word, no letter, no money. And she paused, swallowing her fear, "I find myself imagining the worst." Margaret listened without interruption, a rare and precious kind of listening that asked for nothing and offered everything. After a moment, she asked softly, "Tell me, Emily, what do you believe awaits you tomorrow?" Emily gave a faint, humorless smile. "More uncertainty, I suppose. More reasons to worry." Margaret tilted her head slightly, as if considering not just the answer, but the weight behind it. "It is a curious thing," she said, "how the mind, when left untended, so often chooses the bleakest path." Emily looked at her, puzzled. "But how does one choose otherwise?" she asked. "It feels dishonest to be hopeful when there's so much to fear." Margaret's lips curved into a gentle, knowing smile. "Ah, but hope is not dishonesty, my dear. It is discipline." She paused, then continued, "Let me share something with you. There was once a man who believed himself to be utterly destitute. No family, no wealth, no prospects. He sat beside a river, convinced that life had offered him nothing but absence. One day, a passerby asked him why he wept so bitterly. "Because I have nothing," he replied. The passerby considered this, then gestured quietly around them. "Nothing," she said. "You have the river before you, the trees behind you, and the sky above you. You are surrounded by presence, yet you speak only of absence." The man at first dismissed her words, but later he began to notice the sound of water, the warmth of sunlight, the quiet dignity of simply being alive. And in that subtle shift from lack to awareness, something within him changed. Margaret turned her gaze back to Emily. "Do you see? His circumstances remained the same, but his experience of them transformed entirely." Emily sat very still. "So you're saying nothing has to change except the way I see it?" Margaret inclined her head. "Precisely. And yet, that one change has the power to alter everything. Emily frowned slightly, still wrestling with the idea. But what if things truly go wrong? Margaret's expression softened. My dear, life will always present difficulties. That is not something we can negotiate. But we can decide whether we meet those difficulties with dread or quiet strength. She leaned forward slightly. Each morning, before the world has had a chance to impose itself upon you, you are given a small, sacred moment. In that moment, you may choose your posture toward the day. You may say, this day will defeat me. Or you may say, whatever comes, I will meet it with steadiness. That choice, though it seems small, shapes everything that follows. Something in Emily's expression shifted, not dramatically, but enough. I think I understand, she said slowly. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about refusing to surrender before anything has even happened. Margaret's smile deepened. Exactly. In the weeks that followed, Emily made a quiet effort. Each morning, she rose and whispered to herself, today I will manage. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, but steadily. She worked. She cared for her children. She waited, not with despair, but with a measured kind of hope. And then one morning, a letter arrived. Her husband had found work. He was safe, and he had not forgotten. Relief washed over her, not only because of the news, but because she realized something deeper. She had already begun to change long before the letter came. When she returned to Margaret, full of gratitude, the old woman simply nodded. You see, my dear, she said gently, hope does not guarantee outcomes, but it transforms the one who holds it. In time, others came to Margaret, not because she offered solutions, but because she offered something far rarer, clarity. And to each of them, she gave the same quiet truth. Guard your thoughts carefully. They are not merely reflections of your life. They are the architects of it. True strength lies not in controlling circumstances, but in mastering the way we respond to them. Thanks for watching this motivational video. For more interesting stories, please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, Batuni_story.